Watch the EE vid. I was thinking about it. I feel like the Enclave Emily did what they intended, and they waited until everyone stopped caring about this. No, I'm not watching this. This would take literally more than all stream. This video is 1 hour and 42 minutes long. They didn't edit for shit. I would react to it, but it's way too long. It's only 1 hour 45. Do you know how long it takes for me to react to that? I can make like a 10-minute video a half hour. This is an intentional tactic. This is my take. This length here, the lack of editing, the just ranting endlessly, is intentional tactics because they know no one's gonna care. They know the people who want to react to them will not do a react to 1 hour and a half. I'm saying I think it's deliberate. They're like, first it was like, I am a cheat dev expert. I'll have the final say. Everyone watch my video that's gonna come out. It's gonna be big. Then they're like, oh no, it'll take a couple weeks. And then they're like, oh no, my computer broke. Well, no, first they're like, oh no, I gotta travel. Then I'll do it when I come back. Oh no, my computer's broken. Okay, my computer's fixed. Oh no, I need to move. I need to do a big move. Okay, I'm done. Here's the video. It's almost 2 hours. Good luck reading it, or good luck reacting to it. I mean, they're deliberately trying to avoid the all the masses that were originally interested criticizing them. They don't want the reply videos. They don't want the reactoids. Okay, we got context, important clarification. All right, how about this? We're gonna skip to very specific parts of the video. We're gonna skip to very specific parts and see if there's anything relevant.
RileyCS. Gamers, in fact, strongly believe that this person is cheating.
You can sense how something's off with this aiming and playstyle, even before you can bring yourself to articulate why.
These streams here, not everyone else can access these. Put them up so people can watch them.
They got... Is this like off-brand fucking like Pink Panther music? This is Timu Pink Panther. Oh my god. Proof.
Your peculiar oriental practices, which I teach.
I mean, the little jump is a little sus, but again, the issue with beforehand was that we got sus looking video, like we have sus looking videos that some people claim they can explain, but also that's still not enough proof, unfortunately.
I hope not, Hastings.
Hi there, CEO of Cheating here. You know, I didn't expect that I would end up having to make this video.
Hold on.
I figured the CEO of
He didn't expect he'd have to make this video? Didn't he outright say he's gonna make a video? Like, his first thing he said was, I'm gonna make a video. I'm a cheat dev. This is obviously cheating. I'm gonna make a video. I didn't expect to make a bitch, you said you were gonna make... What do you mean? What do you mean? That's like someone saying... I mean, okay, I don't even have to compare it. That's just saying, I'm gonna do this. I didn't expect to have to do this, though. Fuck you. You lying hoe. You knew what you promised, and then you tried to avoid... It was his first Twitter post, right? You knew what you promised, then you realized you were in over your head, and tried to avoid providing what you promised.
Cheating here. You know, I didn't expect that I would end up having to make this video. I figured that if I did do a video on this entire ordeal, it would be relatively straightforward. And the thing
It'd be relatively straight, unlike him. Anyway.
By and large would be self-evident. It turns out that there's a lot more nuance to this entire ordeal than I previously...
Oh no, is this him? This is him admitting defeat then, right? Turns out there's more nuance, right?
Relatively straightforward. And the things by and large would be self-evident. Turns out that there's a lot more...
I will switch background footage when adequate. No one asked, bro.
More nuance to this entire ordeal than I previously believed, and this video ended...
This video was already delayed enough to maintain my September promise. Was it a September promise? You said it wasn't going to take that long until all these sudden things happened that stopped you from releasing it. Compromise in the vid and odd quality had to be made. Sure.
Up being a bit of a nightmare to even conceptualize. By now, you should know exactly who this individual is. This is RileyCS, someone who went viral over cheating accusations back in August, as they were playing the Battlefield 6.
So wait, this was August. He promised a video in September. It is now... Well, we're still technically in September, but we're nearly at the end of September. Must have done hella research to make sure their points came across. Of course, of course.
beta. I kept seeing it show up in
Totally.
my feed and I didn't pay much attention to it. However, due to the fact it kept showing up and apparently there was a big debate around it, I watched the highlights video and a good chunk of the defense video, made a little post, just a rough guess without thinking too much, and then went to bed.
Oh, that was the post.
I watched the highlights video and a good chunk of the defense video, made a little post, just a
Hi, so this was his first post, I think. Hi, actual former cheat dev here. Riley is cheating and using a mouse, sim, aimbot. Their FOV setting is somewhere around 2 to 4, minimal, no to no RCS reduction. Probably an external. Have a nice day. Okay, so I guess their first post didn't necessarily say it, but I feel like just under this they replied. Like they might have replied to this post saying like I'll make a video soon.
rough guess without thinking too much and then went to bed.
It's boring. Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip around. I'm gonna get through. We'll go through the clarification, which I feel like is gonna be them backpedaling. We'll skip to probably the clip that annoys me, controversies. Maybe the end. We'll skip a lot of the we don't need clip. He's got fucking. What is this? Like almost like an hour of clip analysis. We don't need that. So we're gonna skip a lot of the clip analysis.
Days amassed over 11 million views. I'll be completely honest, I began to get self-conscious because I started reanalyzing my posts.
Yeah, he got self-conscious. He got scared. It's obvious.
And noticed two very big mistakes I made in the post. The point of what I was trying to get at with this post that you're seeing on screen now backfired spectacularly because it became a dick measuring competition of credentials when that was not the intention I had. Although, looking back on it, I can't blame absolutely anybody for reaching any conclusion other than the
Well, how about tell us, are you a former cheat dev? Provide your credentials. You need to tell us, are you actually a former cheat dev?
one that most people reached. It's almost like I don't even study English. Like, honestly, what the fuck was I doing? As I mentioned previously, I made two glaring mistakes in this post that I'm going to address. One of them I will leave for later because it's more relevant that way.
Just tell us
I'm not
now.
in good faith continue this video without clarifying something. It's something that I did not clarify sooner because I was afraid I would start
You're not a cheat dev, right?
a giant shitstorm that would get completely out of control, especially because all I could do at the time was tweet or maybe make a YouTube short. And that thing
All it has to be is the tweet. You just have to say, my bad, here's where I was wrong, here's what I still think. It's not hard. Just put it into English, you retard.
is the cheat dev bit. A lot of people, rightly so, took this to mean that I was claiming seniority, trying to claim that I
There's no other reason for you to put that without... Like, the only reason for you to say that is to appeal to authority. You're appealing to your own authority. You're saying, I am an authority on this topic because I am an actual former cheat dev. There's no other reason to put that sentence in there. You knew what you were doing.
was a pro, that I was super knowledgeable, and that I had experience with a lot of engines or something like that. Put simply, I had a bit of a woman moment. The transition's going
Woman moment. Woman moment, guys. Hashtag woman moment. Oh, no. The transition is going great, it sounds like you just said.
really well, I suppose. But no, what I wanted to say
Neko
is that I was
moment.
a hobbyist, and a casual one at that. I was just someone who over time grew interested in the concept of cheat development and cheat making.
Then just say hobbyist. I'm a cheat hobbyist. Why? You knew damn well what you were doing, you fucking retard.
And using cheats. No matter your stance on it, it's a curiosity that virtually everybody has had. How is this thing possible? How is that done? How is that not detected? I started off using whatever the hell I could get my hands on, and over time, I started looking more into the coding aspect of it. But of course, because I never went to school for any of this stuff, a lot of what I pumped out was just meme code, including, and this is what most people who know my past know about, a mini passion project of sorts, which in reality was mostly just copy and pasted code that I would change around for fun. This is not something that I have hidden at any point, but it kept being brought up along with accusations that all my GitHub account had was Python scripts that would not run. My GitHub account is private and has nothing in Python in it. I stopped making YouTube videos on cheats for a while, and then not that long afterwards, I also stopped.
This is
touching
like when
code. I
Mudahar
had
claims to be an
projects that weren't
engineer.
as cringe as what people know me for was, but put simply, they never saw the light of day. I did intend to come back this time with a little bit more of a proper project, but safe to say the passion just wasn't there. I just felt like I needed to clarify that for the sake of transparency.
Yeah,
and so
that's
you don't
important.
get psyoped by the people who just want to pull up a random GitHub account that nobody will fucking show me in an effort
We're not being we're psyoped by you. You psyoped us. You attempted to, at least. Alright, we're almost there.
to discredit every argument that I am about to put forth. Okay, so Enclave Emily from the future here, I need to interject for a moment because I just found out one thing. The intro's already long as is, but I need to get this out of the way. Turns out that GitHub account is someone else's from over 7 years ago, back when I
It doesn't
didn't know
matter.
what the fuck I was doing and was basically just pasting for fun, something I haven't
It doesn't
even hidden from
matter.
anybody. And the person who re-uploaded it was, ironically enough, someone who sold copy-pasted sheets, so, you know. They also claim to be a pro coder and allegedly infected one of their loaders. Just know that
Bro, none of that matters. None of that's even relevant to you. He's basically saying, oh, by the way, that thing I just said was me. First he was like coming up with excuses, assuming it was him. He's like, oh yeah, maybe that was me when I was just doing pasting stuff. I wasn't super serious. And he came up with excuses. Now he's like, actually though, I was being an idiot just a couple seconds ago. Turns out it's not even me. So I'm going to backtrack on even my excuses. Bro.
that if you talk shit about those Python scripts, you're not talking shit about me, you're talking about this jackass. Anyway.
Right, so just say, actually, that account wasn't me. We don't need you to fucking be like he's like relishing in the fact that he had, like, he's using this as ammo. He's trying to use this as ammo, being like, actually, that thing you were saying was not even me. Therefore, I'm still a script kiddie who pastes shit. I'm still a script kiddie who pastes shit, but that specifically is not me. Wow, you really won. You really outdid them. You really win in the argument here.
Just wanted to set the record straight. Anyway, back to the video. So with all of that out of the way, let's get back to Riley. Given that the conversation surrounding Riley is largely predicated on many not knowing what the hell a cheat even does, and claims that
I'm a script kiddie.
Just don't know what they're talking about because they're not a part of the... I'll get to that. What I'm going to do first
the
is
AIM community,
I'm going to
more like the game
related to cheating. I'm going to explain some cheat features and give you a simplified idea of what they do. I'm not going to go super in depth because contrary to what a lot of people would like you to believe, that is not necessary, nor is it actually what a lot of people want. Then we're going to analyze Riley's clips in depth, and following that, we are going to talk a little bit about the context surrounding this entire ordeal, including information that a lot of people mysteriously missed, arguments for and against Riley that do virtually nothing except divert the conversation from what it originally was, and serve absolutely fucking nobody except the people who just want to get off on temporary clout. And not to poison the well here, but that's insane degrees of foreshadowing right there. I've included timestamps so you can move to whichever section interests you the most. Just keep in mind there is a chance you might not recognize some of the terms I use later on.
Too bad.
Let's start off with two terms that we need to keep in mind, internal and external. Starting with the latter because...
how could we possibly know the difference between internal and external? How could we possibly know without you explaining it to us?
Included in my original post. An external is a cheat that works outside the game. It reads the game's memory and can write...
Did you know internal works inside the game and external works outside the game? Actual cheat dev, by the way.
Achieving, in this case, a trigger bot. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this, but the point is that an external works outside the game and usually does not have the range of features that an internal has. I mean, you can get close, but at that point, you're begging to get banned. I know it's possible to hook externally, I'm just not going there here, just to clarify. And internal, as the name implies, is a cheat that works inside the game, whereas an external runs outside the game.
Oh my god, how long's it going? Yeah, he keeps going on and on about inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. We got it. Are you trying to fuck the metaphorical game here? Bro, we're gonna skip to the clip that annoys me. Alright, bonus clip.
Clip, like, lives in my dreams, and not for a good reason. Wobbles back and forth, kills this guy, which is fine.
Wobbles? Hold on.
Lives in my dreams, and not for a good reason. Wobbles back and forth, kills this guy.
I didn't see the wobbling.
Like, I guess I could just say that this is, like, bad because of the stream. And then this happens, where she walks up to the rooftop with all of these people.
He does do that?
Like, you can see exactly when there's, like, a sudden shift in the aim. Lasers this dude.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Absolute perfection on the center mass. Which, the guy isn't moving, but so it's fine. But you can see the crosshair is, like, you know, perfect on the guy. Maybe drifting ever so slightly upwards. I'll put a crosshair on the screen. Like, it looks like there's...
Why did it go down and then come right back up? What was that part?
That's supposed to be going upwards. It's very faint. I don't know if you can see it. But then the red X shows up in one frame. I don't know if it's here because I can see a little bit of red here, but not here. But the red X shows up, meaning that this guy is dead. This guy's dead, right? And within one frame, she's already moving down. As a reminder, her crosshair was drifting ever so slightly upwards this whole time. It was drifting very, very subtly upwards.
Okay.
And then the very frame this guy dies, it starts moving down, and she's already adjusting, which, fantastic work. You know, you're at high ping, you're suffering from...
She was at highish ping with packet loss going from yellow to red for about 20 minutes before the 6 hour, 9 minute, 10 second in August 8th live stream. Okay.
Packet loss, your crosshair is moving up, and in one frame, you're adjusting downwards, right?
Okay, down to what?
Already adjusting downwards. It's very subtle. I don't know if you can tell it. Like, let me...
We got it. Adjusting down. Down to what?
Like, already moves down. Goes down here to this guy, which
and then flips back up, right?
But gets a hit marker.
It's going to flip back up to center of mass, right?
You can see the crosshair is drifting ever so slightly downwards, right?
I got that,
and then
yes.
In the very frame that the kill marker shows up... Oh, now the crosshair is drifting back up. Crosshair drifting downwards. And then the next frame, right after the kill marker shows up, it's back to going upwards.
Okay.
Very subtle, but, you know.
That's it?
You get the little panic. She jumps up on the roof. Gets this. I think she's targeting this guy back here, but I'm not sure. And then, of course...
Shooting through the guy in front of him to shoot the guy behind him?
The movement. You can see there was a little adjustment here. For, how many frames was that adjustment? 1, 2. 2 frame adjustment, alright. And then after those 2 frames, stops for 1 frame, moves the crosshair back up, flicks to the side to this guy, and then has a bit of a tard moment. I was gonna say...
Can we see that at full speed, please? Can we see that at full speed?
For later, but this clip keeps like popping up in my fucking mind, and I'm getting so fucking sick of people like pretending this doesn't exist. What do you even say? What do you even
Show us
say
at
about
full
this clip?
speed, please.
I wonder why she deleted the live streams early. Like, again, I'm not going to call cheats just based off of this and the few clips we've seen already, but this just puts egg on the face of every fucking idiot that says that everyone criticizing Riley is just a controller player, because this just looks wrong. This just looks fucking wrong. Like,
No, the first snap is fine. The first snap, like, he keeps... I don't know why he's, like, so stuck on the first part. The first part's fine. You can see the guy for fucking ever. He walks in the room and he sees the guy to his left forever. And then he turns and aims. Like, that part's fine. There's nothing wrong with the first aim. You can maybe claim there's something wrong with that second part. The flick as soon as the red X, the red crosshair pops up. And then the shooting the guy on the ground instead of the guy that's closer and standing up. That's a little weird. Not impossible to be regular gameplay, but still a little weird, a little bizarre. The first is the least, like, incredulous thing about the clip. And that's what he seems to be focusing on.
like, let me play it at normal speed.
Normal speed, yeah. This doesn't look like... This looks fast-forwarded.
Like, that just looks wrong. Hitting center
That has to be fast-forwarded, right? That's not normal speed.
mass, crosshair drifting ever so slightly upwards. As soon as
Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, I have it fast-forwarded. I have it fast-forwarded. I forgot I set it to 1.5 times speed. Alright, let's go back to his normal clip.
But this clip keeps, like, popping up in my fucking mind, and I'm getting so fucking sick of people, like, pretending this doesn't exist. What do you even say? What do you even fucking say about this clip? I wonder why she deleted the live streams early. Like, again, I'm not going to call cheats just based off of this and the few clips we've seen already. But this
you put the jail?
This just puts egg on the face of every fucking idiot that says that everyone criticizing
They
Riley
give her the
is
sombrero.
just a controller player. Because this
There's a
just
snap to
looks
center
wrong.
mass once they aim down the
This
sights
just
for the
looks
first person you
fucking
could see it in
wrong.
the
Like, let me
frame
play it at
analysis.
normal speed.
Deported, yeah. Normal speed. Normal speed. That still seems pretty fast. Does the
Like,
game really
that
play this
just looks
fast?
Wrong. Hitting center mass, crosshair drifting ever so slightly upwards. As soon as the red X shows up, in 1/10 of the fastest reaction time ever recorded, she's already adjusting, moves down. Crosshair is clearly on a downwards trajectory,
Nice.
kills the guy, and again, in 1 frame, or 2 frames, sorry.
Oh, you're slipping. Is it 1 or 2? Is it 1 or 2 frames?
There's already back on an upwards trajectory, and has this absolute tard moment
This kills the guy.
because, you know, remember, professional aim trainer
Pick one.
aiming for the legs and takes, like, fucking forever to realize that she's aiming for the legs, which, you know, a bit suboptimal, don't you think?
You could easily explain that to be like they flicked it down to the person on the ground. For some reason, their brain prioritized on that. And rather than have to aim up, then aim back down, they decide they're just going to shoot through that guy to kill the guy on the ground first. Probably they just decided they were already too far committed, so they're going to shoot until the guy on the ground's dead, then kill the guy standing, right?
Does a little arc
Oh,
flick,
no.
and then just
Okay, no, they do eventually flip up to the guy standing up. Aiming for nuts, maybe.
has a tard moment. I get wanting to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's exactly what I'm doing. But if you say that the people who think that Riley's cheating are just bad players, are just a bunch of controller players, or just have some fuck.
There's another thing. In Battlefield 6, in the Battlefield 6 playtest, did they allow people with controller to play? Like, were you allowed to use a controller on it? Did they give you aim assist for controllers? I don't know. I didn't try it.
Hidden agenda. You are part of the fucking problem.
Hidden
and
agenda.
You are part of the reason why we can never actually have a discussion on aiming and cheating. You're part of the problem, yeah?
Controversies. Is it worth watching the
I
controversies?
want to make something very clear here, and that is that none of this is outright impossible in any scenario. And the questioning of the things I did should not be taken as some sort of statement saying that you cannot be that good at a video game. While everyone does have their skill ceiling, it is absolutely possible to improve at something if you practice it enough. And now you're probably thinking, Enclave Emily, that is very obvious. That should be common sense, right? It is perfectly understandable.
Yeah, I know controllers are often, like, Yeah, basically, using a controller puts you at a handicap when you're playing any FPS against PC players. Yeah, for sure. The question, I guess, is, I mean, we know for sure that Enclave Emily is using a mouse and keyboard, at least based on the. They would show like a little camera showing their hand using a mouse. Obviously, they got mouse settings. I don't know. It could be. I know I've heard it theorized that maybe they're using some sort of trick to make the game think they're using a controller, but they're still using their mouse. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if that would actually help or not, but I don't know. I got no proof for that. So I'm just saying I've heard that. I've heard that theorized. I don't know if it's ever been tested or tried, but Enclave Emilio sounds possible. Yeah, maybe. Like maybe they have, maybe it's in the hardware they're using, maybe it's in the mouse they're using. And the keyboard, I don't know, maybe it's in these things that it says it simulates, like, you plug it in like a keyboard, but it simulates a controller. I don't know. Maybe. And then the game just thinks you have a controller, so the game doesn't freak out, right? Maybe. Have they showed their settings? I assume they must have showed their settings when they played at some point, but this is just cope, though, clearly. It's just cope. I mean, I don't know. I've kind of come around to the side that I bet that Enclave Emily is using cheats sometimes, but not enough to the point where those clips were, like the big famous clips, I don't think were cheating. Yeah, Riley, obviously not all the clips are cheating. I think most of the clips aren't cheating. I think there are some sus clips in there in the mix where maybe they used it in the past. Misnaming the cheater. My bad if I did.
You might be thinking to point to a chart such as this one that
chart?
you're seeing right here, showing reaction times and finding something about this.
Oh, hold on. Lowest MS, medium MS, highest MS. There's a reaction time to kill, from kill to flick. Okay, so once the person they're shooting is killed, how many milliseconds it takes for them to flick to the next target? This lowest, medium, highest. Okay. What is mediumist? You got the lowest, you got the highest, you got the mediumist. I know it doesn't say that, but I'm like, what does this column mean? Anyway, I guess it's the mean between the low and high, maybe. I don't know. Most locked in Catgirl compilation. So this is their research. Probably, yeah, they probably mean average. Okay. I gotcha.
Very wrong, while not denying that it is possible for someone to be good at a video game if they practice. I thought this would just be perfectly understandable to absolutely everybody, and I wouldn't even need to mention this until I saw Viscos's video, where she brings up the chart and—
Who? Viscous? Did you say this guy? This guy's video, or did you say Viscos's video? How to make your clips look like an aimbot without cheating.
Says it was a displeasure to have to see it, and then just completely glazes over it and
glazes over it.
Things which are in—
This guy can't speak. Glazes over it? That's not the term, right? That's not the saying. Glazes over. That's like, you know, if someone says you're glazing, that's like you're complimenting them. Glaze doesn't come, right? Yeah. They're glazing over it. Do you mean like they're what is it? What's the term? There is a term for like I can't think of it. Where they brush over it? No, they where they kind of just skip. They just kind of loosely look at it. It's not grazing, I don't think, is it? God damn it. I know for sure it's not glazing. I know for sure it's not glazing though. I don't know what it actually is. Let me look. Brush, I think it is just brushing over it. Yeah, so okay, so it was brushing over it. So brushing over it saying refers to an idiom where someone lightly touches on a subject, often to avoid addressing it in detail, and then proceeds to say something about it. See, this guy's going to claim, if he ever does look at my video, or responds to, you know, my video, he's going to say, wow, this guy is glazing over his video. When he should be saying brushing over. I am brushing over your video.
Inherently obvious to someone playing a game. I don't have anything against Viscos, and I do
Ew, the hand, what the fuck?
not believe you should send any hate her way. But this—
Her way? Is this another of the trans community? Hold on. Viscous. I've got a little. We got to investigate. Hold on. Are they the streamer? I guess.
This is Shimmy, Team Redshift member, very skilled Rocket League freestyler, and oh, sorry, I misread.
Maybe it is a her.
Cheater in Rocket League history, who 2 years ago now got exposed by members of his team
What do you
for
think?
faking all of his best. If you've been active on Twitter recently, you've probably seen someone playing like this, whether that be Riley, myself, or one of
I don't
a
know.
handful of
You think
people
male?
with similar styles. To be blunt, this is not a drama video or anything like that, and I'm not going to talk much about these clips themselves. Instead, I want to show you how people get clips like this, since there's obviously a pretty massive difference in playstyle between someone like Riley and someone like Sean. There are some examples of...
I think if it is a man doing a voice, I think they pitched it up. Like I think they used audio controls to pitch the voice upward. It could be a man doing a voice and they pitched it. It's hard to say though. It is high. The voice is higher than I expected though. Anyway, inconclusive. The investigation is inconclusive.
And I do not believe you should send any hate her way. But this video right here is the perfect encapsulation of why so many people have a problem with even the concept of aim trainers, and why it is so difficult to have a discussion on the concept of people being good versus people cheating.
What?
The link to the video is in the description, and by all means go and check it to make sure that I am not misrepresenting Viscos. But what happened in this video was basically chart bad because you can memorize the time to kill, and the subject of the conversation is someone who plays on servers where memorizing the normal time to kill is not exactly the easiest thing in the world.
I don't know if I'm the only person unlucky enough to have seen this chart demonstrating Riley's reaction time being inhuman, but what's being measured here isn't reaction time at all. To optimize your time to kill across multiple kills, you have to leave the target as quickly as possible. And the best way to do this is to have a mental note of how fast targets die and flick based on that.
Yeah, no shit.
Let's leave out that little detail though, because now we're gonna talk about not peeking literally everybody at the same time so you can manage your angles. Once again, I am not accusing Viscos of anything, and nor
it is
am I
male for
saying
sure,
that you should
confirmed.
send hate her way, please don't. But it is unhelpful to...
You've seen on 4chan two dudes trying to fool each other that they're women. Did it work? Did they fool each other? I should be a trans VTuber and start a controversy. Well, you're halfway there. You can read into that however you want. It's a speedrunner guaranteed. Well, to be fair, yeah, you're right. Speedrunner does kind of push it a certain angle. 100%.
To the conversation to not only dismiss half of the spreadsheet, but to also leave out
I dismiss your
crucial detail of
spreadsheet.
the conversation.
Good day, sir.
Especially considering that the subject of the conversation, which is Riley, is someone who plays on servers where there's 200% damage for their clips. In other words, someone whose most impressive clips come from a game where the gunfights primarily end in like 2 bullets, being able to outdo themselves in Battlefield 6, a game that did not have 200% damage, is cause for at least some suspicion. And I'm sorry to keep repeating myself, it is really fucking useless to keep diverting from the point of the conversation or trying
like
to come up
speedrunning
with
video
other
games and
things
life.
in order to shift the core of the conversation to your interests, and by proxy treat people with doubts like idiots that simply do not understand what the conversation is even about, and you're just above people who are less educated. Case in point, the fucking AIM community.
The
I
gay
thought it was a
community.
joke when I first saw it.
One
I
and the
really
same.
did. But I forgot that we live in a day and age where absolutely everything has a community, or at least has a
This is actually based.
community.
Yeah, fuck the
YouTuber
communities.
The Zimbro, link in the description, put it best when he said
Did he
that
say, bro?
nowadays we just
Did he
come
say
up
that?
with communities for the most minute of things and treat the subject that created said so-called community as just something that was recently discovered, like it's some sort of fucking new rocket science or whatever.
He's actually based for this part, okay? You know, fuck. Anytime any sort of thing has a community, like the fucking... You have the Metal Gear Solid community, you have the Battlefield community, you have the Call of Duty community, you have the Aimer community, you have the fucking Brony community. No, fuck, stop with the communities. Stop to the communities now. Just end all communities, okay? Disperse communities now. Something like that.
Now, what's next? The fucking crouch community? Yeah, did you know you can crouch in video
A
games?
crouch
Did you know
community.
You can go prone in video games? You probably didn't know that. No, you silly goober. I just discovered
Don't
the
say
concept of
goober.
crouching in a video game, and let me educate you on how that
We have the crotch community. That's the trans people. We already have the crotch community.
that works. You wouldn't understand the concept of crouching. After all, you're just playing on a VR headset with no controller, so I'm educated,
Crotch
you're
community
not, and if you
used.
think this is retarded, did you know that you can do micro positioning? Don't worry,
Whoa,
let me make a 15-minute
micro.
long video completely dodging the subject of the conversation. You see how unhelpful this is? This could have just been a conversation where somebody mentioned, hey, yeah, this person is an aim trainer, they train their aim in video games, and that could have been it. And we could have actually had a normal discussion on whether something is cheating or not and debated amongst each other. But no.
Normal.
Every attempt to do so just gets psyoped into, you just think flicks are impossible.
He likes the word
or some
psyop.
stupid shit. Like, yes, we know that aiming is possible in video games. We know that tracking enemies in video games is possible. Next question, please. You're not a rocket scientist, you're just someone trying to justify thousands of hours in Kovacs. But I have an even bigger problem with the concept of an aim community, because unlike other communities, say, surrounding video games,
Too many trans
movies,
people?
franchises, a community surrounding aiming in a video game is incredibly one note. Let's take a community surrounding being fans of a video game. Let's say Fallout New Vegas, since that's one of the favorite games of this channel. In it,
Aim
you can
gooner.
discuss, for example, the story, the gameplay, the bugs,
This
the
is an
development
angry
cycle,
gay
the
man,
mods,
yes.
the music, the art style, and you can have countless conversations on these things, and if you want to make content related to Fallout New Vegas, you can pick any of them and it will work. Someone who stands out in a Fallout New Vegas fan community, if you will, can do so by discussing the story and stand out on equal terms to someone who, for example, discusses the art style. Quick question,
Okay.
do you think this applies to the AIM community? Actually, even better question, how do you stand out in the AIM community? How do you even participate in
Aiming
the activities
is
of the
just
AIM community?
aim
I know,
trainers.
check this out, it's gonna be really complex, right? You gotta stand back away from your microphone, you gotta really listen and pay attention to this.
Did he really
move
say
your
it was
mouse.
trans?
That's it. If you want to be a part of something within this community, all you have to do is move your mouse. But of course, if you are not good at moving your mouse, you are not going to stand out. Or
Yeah,
maybe
no
you just
shit.
hit your personal skill ceiling after hundreds, if not thousands.
It's the same as any community that values like the merit. If if the community is surrounding a skill, such as aiming, then obviously how do you have stature in such a community involving a skill? You be more skilled at that skill. It's as simple as that. It's like you'll stand out in the skill community if you're more skilled, and then you'll be pushed to the wayside if you're less skilled. Pretty simple, right?
Of hours of training your aim, and you do not get the spotlight or recognition that other people who move their mouse do. If you guess that this is the recipe for a community that is far more likely than average to attract cheaters, then congratulations, you're correct. Humans and
true.
I actually have to say this. Oh my fuck. Humans are social creatures that desire to be a part of something, and if succeeding in being a part of that something is just getting a few.
And as you're probably gonna say, we will keep in mind none of this is proof of cheating, though. Yeah, basically he's presenting an argument that says, okay, the community is very likely to have cheaters. It is extremely it draws in cheaters. This community. Technically, that's not an argument, though. It doesn't necessarily prove anything about RileyCS, though. It just says that RileyCS is part of a community that may be rife with cheaters. It is lawyer speak, perhaps.
Then
Yeah.
it is highly likely that you are going to attract people who want to take the easy way, dedicate thousands of
Blank-
hours they do not have into
blank
something
slates
they
are
only
terrified
have
of
a passive interest in, or
meritocratic
software they
systems,
found
true.
online, get a few
I
clicks,
struggled
and
to
then
read
get the
that.
praise they so desperately seek. Riley was inspired to improve her aim by 3 people, and 2 of them turned out to be cheating. Team EXE, which Riley belongs to, has had
that
scandals
true?
with cheaters in the past. The AIM community has members which go out of their way to cheat in Kovacs of all fucking things, and the Raw Input Steam group has a ratio of 20 times above average of members who were banned for cheating. Don't let
Right, so all you got here is circumstantial evidence. You have circumstantial, which says that they're part of a community where this happens all the time. Okay, so are a lot of people in that community who don't cheat. So this isn't proof. This isn't usable as proof. This isn't usable as evidence. It's circumstantial. Now I still don't know that. I don't know that RileyCS is cheating or not cheating. I don't think we'll ever know. I think it's going to be very hard to prove, but.
the Google Docs application deceive you. Yes, you have to apply on Google Docs to join the Raw Input community or group or whatever the fuck. To be
The Raw Input community, excuse me. Can we go back? The Raw Input AIM application. What? There is no hard line for skill. First 2 points. Okay, no cheating history whatsoever. Okay, so it's a community that prides itself on using. I mean, it basically just, if you're part of this community, you can use it as maybe some, not necessarily evidence, but you can use it as like, I don't know. It helps your argument if you claim you don't cheat. If you're part of this community, you can use it and say, hey, look, I don't cheat. I'm part of the Raw Input community. Doesn't prove anything, but
application deceive you. Yes, you have
I need to
rely on
raw
Google
and put
Docs to
myself
join
into
the raw
someone.
input community or group or whatever the
Same.
fuck. To be a part of this, not only are you expected to pump out clips, but also have absolutely zero history of cheating, and they take cheating accusations and cheating history very seriously. Anyway, here's a guy who got banned 8 days ago in their group. Actually, fuck it, here's a bunch of them. For a community that is apparently so
Wow.
unwilling to tolerate the act of cheating, you sure do have a lot of people with a history of cheating recently in the group. And even if all of these people do get removed from the community, the point still remains that this is something that is inherently going to attract cheaters. And it honestly drives me up a fucking wall, the fact that we can't even mention this because we're just going to be called uneducated plebs. You know, as
You
one
fucking
does when they want to
uneducated
be
plebs.
transparent and understanding. But then we get to the fucking
searched, you know.
Still, I mean, okay. Yeah, still technically, if this was a court of law, all you did is present the likely. You're like, they're part of a group that has a high likelihood to have cheating in it. Not, I guess most of the members haven't been proved cheated, but you're saying there's a, in terms of finding out some of the cheater, this has happened multiple times in this group. Still not evidence that RileyCS is a cheater, though.
Her, like, from Enclave Emily and then the N-word, and there was a lot of results, surprisingly.
Really? I could never have guessed.
Yeah, there were so many.
I'm starting to notice a trend here, you know. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know.
I think we're just too woke.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the people mad about this are also racist.
Paying extra tax.
This right here was making me this right here, this little chat here is making me hate anime avatars despite having one. This right here is making me hate anime avatars. That is, yeah, I would say that's absolutely a manhand. Yes.
I think we're just too woke.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the people mad about this are also racist.
Paying extra taxes.
Are also racist.
There's being up your own ass. Being so far
Oh my
All
gosh.
of a sudden are back up your ass again. This may come as a bit of a surprise, but it is possible to say naughty words on the internet and simultaneously believe something else. Believe it or not, the people criticizing you for something may simply not have some secret agenda and might just want to criticize you for that something. I get that it must be really nice to paint over all your critics as evil people with secret agendas, and you
But also, you can be racist and still have a very good point. In fact, many racists do. But that's besides the point. You can be a racist and still be right about RileyCS. They're not mutually exclusive. This has nothing to do with RileyCS. As far as I know, Riley is white. I've seen the hand, right? This has nothing to do with racism.
You might not realize how
Yeah, they call me racist, but never wrong. Exactly.
stupid it is to do this. Maybe you're just drunk on the caffeine in the bathtub estrogen. So let me spell it out for you when I say that this
Wait, whoa. Is this guy, is Enclave Emily calling him out for being trans? Is that literally a trans attack from Enclave Emily? Hold on.
to say naughty words on the internet and simultaneously believe something else. Believe it or not, the people criticizing you for something may simply not have some secret agenda and might just want to criticize you for that something.
A gotcha for
It must be
leftists?
really nice to paint over all your critics as evil people with secret agendas, and you might not realize how stupid it is to do this. Maybe you're just drunk on the caffeine in the
I see a white monster. I see a lot of bang energy. I see some coffee stuff. I don't see the estrogen in this picture, but I see a Portillo's cup, which means they're in the Midwest, probably. I see a syringe. I guess that's supposed to be the estrogen, right? Bathtub estrogen. So they're you're basically saying they're a low-class trans person. They're a low-class transoid. You're like, you are a fucking peasant trans person, while as I, Enclave Emily, am the peak. The peak.
bathtub estrogen. So let me spell it out for you when I say that this exact behavior is part of the reason why so many people don't even want to argue in good faith, because you, by doing this, are not arguing in good faith. Hey, look on this.
You just had the bathroom. You have the bathtub estrogen. Mine is fucking gold-plated. It comes in a gold-plated bottle.
Footage, this player is cheating, but the critics said naughty words a couple of times, therefore that the criticism is just invalid. Do you see how stupid this sounds?
Do you see how stupid that could be in anything? Are you gonna? Would you hold to that argument in any topic, or are you gonna? I feel like this is the same person who would be anti-racist in any other context except this one. In literally any other context except this one, I feel like they would be anti-racist.
How old are you people? And that's not even the worst of it, because then we get to the argument of, oh, but they're trans, therefore if they're cheating, you should ignore it because trans people have had trauma or some shit.
I've seen that account on
This is
Twitter.
exactly why so many people assume that trans people are all just a bunch of fucking snowflakes. Not every criticism of someone who happens to be trans comes from a place of bigotry, and not every action that a trans person takes has to be excused because of some fucking abstract concept of trauma. I really do wonder if I'm ever gonna be able to live in a world where I don't have to explain to new people every single fucking time that I'm not retarded just because of association with retardation like this.
You wonder if you live in a world where you have to explain to people that just because you're trans, you're not retarded. You're like, look, I might be trans, but I'm not retarded. Is that what you're saying? Am I hearing that right?
Address the Raw Input podcast. Yes, maybe you are indeed too woke. Painting all your critics as a cabal of secret bad people just makes people assume the worst about you, and does absolutely no favors to people who happen to be trans.
Also, isn't this guy painting? He's painting the AIM community as kind of like a cabal of evil, I don't know, evil people who cheat at the game, no? Wasn't he not just painting the AIM community as the same thing?
who may just want to live their lives and not be assumed to be
Well, I guess he didn't paint them as racist, but you know what I mean.
morons. I can't even blame the people who immediately jump to negative conclusions because the use of this card is so fucking disingenuous that it seems like you're hiding something. Oh, but it doesn't even end there. Let me go back to the you're a bigot card because somehow, a statement I made, which is so fucking basic a 5-year-old could understand it, was somehow twisted into transphobia. In case you don't know what that statement was, it was someone asking if cheating is legal now, and my response was...
So does that mean aimbots are legal now? Just claim to be trans and have an uwu avatar, and yes. Damn. Damn, you called them out. You got them. Got them. 12K likes too. Wrecked. The trans community is in shambles now.
That so long as you have an uwu avatar and claim to be...
Is this a trans person? This person's 100% trans, yes. No, this person's trans.
Be trans, then yes, cheating is illegal. This obviously being a reference to the fact that a lot of people were downplaying criticisms and suspicions of Riley and her bathtub hormone chugging fucking crew by using the bigotry.
He again says the bathtub HRT chugging group. Is that what he said? Did I just fuck it up? Hold on.
Reference to the fact that a lot of people were downplaying criticisms and suspicions of Riley and her bathtub hormone chugging fucking crew.
Yeah, bathtub hormone chugging. Okay.
The bigotry card.
He's basically slurring. He's basically doing like, as a part of the trans community, he knows these are basically slurs that a trans person can use about another trans person. The bathtub hormone chugger. He's using trans slurs. He knows about the bathtub HRT. He might be the only base trans person, possibly.
Fun fact, fun fucking fact. Did you also know that it is literally a trend in the cheating community to do exactly this? I am not joking when I say that it is literally a trend in the cheating community, at least the Counter-Strike cheating community, to have a sad vibes girl profile in order to dodge accusations of cheating, or to make you more special looking as an individual to people who check out your profile. It is literally a trend to do exactly this in the cheating community, and somehow
I believe it.
psyoped into some sort of fucking anti-trans debate. People will unironically behave.
I mean, can you not see, as a trans person, he can't see that side. But there is an anti-trans angle to that, no? If you're saying you have a group of people who literally use kind of the trans thing as a defense to get away with shitty behavior, can you not see the bad side of that? Can you not see how that's an issue with the trans community? Or is your cope that they're not really trans?
Like this and be surprised that a lot of people become transphobic. I don't understand how you don't see the problem here. So yes, I do have my suspicions related to this entire ordeal, and I also do say naughty words on the internet.
He says naughty words. I can see some of those naughty words. They're barely blurred out, but you can see them. Uh-oh. He says the words.
You forgot the Giga Chat image. Here it is. Now that we got all of that sorted out, let's talk about some things that you may have missed during this entire ordeal. Or maybe you may have missed it because an Indian with an AI voice in a white paper reviewed by Grok.
Oh shit, he's calling out Call of Shame? Is that a Call of Shame reference? Hold on.
Mentioned them, and now you are hesitant to even consider these things. By now, you are probably aware that RileyCS has multiple alt accounts. They admit to having one.
Oh, he's not gonna go. He made a very passing remark about Call of Shame, I think, right?
During this entire ordeal. Or maybe you may have missed it because an Indian with an AI voice in a white paper reviewed by Grok.
An Indian with an AI voice in a white paper.
Mentioned them, and now you are hesitant to even consider these things. By now, you are probably aware that
Damn.
RileyCS has multiple alt accounts.
He does make various remarks more than that one? Okay.
They admit to having 2 Valorant accounts, but claim to only have 1 account on EA. I am naturally suspicious of this because as someone who has seen way too much Riley content, I have basically memorized all her usernames, and I started to notice, on top of the fact that there are 2 RileyCSs in one of their lobbies, I still haven't been able to figure that one out. Like, why would you do that? I noticed that...
Maybe, are they faking clips, you think? Was that on the enemy side?
On top of the fact that there are 2...
That's an ally, right? I'm just like, if they had enemies that had the same Riley name, you know, maybe they were faking clips. I don't know, but that looks like it's an ally.
RileyCS is in one of their lobbies. I still haven't been able to figure that one out. Like, why would you do that? I noticed that in relatively recent edits, there are multiple names which haven't been used by Riley in a very long time. Meaning that a lot of Riley's edits are literally clips that are over a year old, which, you know, gives the false impression that your gameplay is more frequently like this than it actually is. Or that there may be something else going on here, or that it's a mix of both. I saw in this edit of Riley that the username changes, and it got me wondering, why is Riley switching accounts so much? But then I considered the possibility that Riley may simply be changing the username on the same account. So going to Battlefield 4 DB, I checked Riley's account, and sure enough, multiple different usernames showed.
Gunky Bussy, 4 years ago. RileyCS, Dumb Puppy 22, Cop Waster 2TV, Riley Puppy, Pause at You, Cop Waster, TTV RileyCS, TTV RileyCS. How are these different names? They're just different capitalizations.
Up among them TTV RileyCS, Cop Waster, because you couldn't be any more of a fucking stereotype if you try. Cop Waster TTV, and so that's the transition. But case closed then, you might be guessing, right?
another trans joke. They transitioned from a puppy to a cat girl.
Riley is actually telling the truth about only having one account. I'm not so sure if I believe that, you see. Stick with me for a moment here. In one of her streams, she tried to open Battle.net, and the credentials were autofilled to somebody else. Riley herself claimed that this was
What was that? Hold on. Is he gonna pause it for us?
3 account, which has me a little bit confused because I went to her Steam account, and I did not...
He's not gonna pause it for us. Oh, okay, he censored it. He censored it. When they brought Battle.net, it was a different login, and he censored it. Kind of like EE, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I think, aside from being trans, if we exclude the trans part, EE seems kind of funny, actually, yeah.
else. Riley herself claimed that this was not her Modern Warfare 3 account, which has me a little bit confused because I went to her Steam account and I did not see anything related to Modern Warfare 3. It was allegedly just a friend's account, but then again, why would you be logging into a friend's account for fucking Modern Warfare 3 or any other game?
If you get banned, I guess.
This got me wondering if there were any other accounts that we were simply unaware of.
Stop to the Pride Hearts.
Her Battlefield streams early, that is before the 14 days that Twitch gives you before they delete it, are up. I decided to simply try to find an account that matched Riley's old names. I didn't have to look far because one mistake that a lot of people do, especially when they're creating Smurfs, is that at first they simply use usernames that are easier to remember. And I came across an account on Battlefield 5 that absolutely reeks of being a fucking Smurf. Check this out. We can see by tracking Riley's main account that up until 4 months ago, her main account used to be called Cop Waster. Because of how the EA app works, nobody else was able to call themselves Cop Waster up until 4 months ago. Well, we can see that just short of 4 months ago, an account called Cop Waster mysteriously showed up not long after Riley changed her name on her main account, implying that either this is all one massive coincidence or Riley changed her name on her main and then created another account. Because I was only able to track the actual progress in Battlefield games and not when the account was created specifically, the timelines simply do not match up to perfection, but it is perfectly reasonable to conclude that this is Riley's Smurf account, especially because it only has 5 hours of playtime and mysteriously appeared right after Riley changed her name on her main. Moreover, if we look at the stats, we can see that the stats are way too good for someone who legitimately just started playing. We can also see that none of the games that this account plays coincide with Riley actually playing.
A 1.4 kill death is good. Is that good? I don't know about Battlefield or what game is there. Are they playing Battlefield? Is a 1.4 KD good? It doesn't seem like it would be. It's possible someone took their name, but if it was someone else taking their name, they would have to be pretty well known at that point, right? I don't think they were streaming to like many people at that point, unless this is like one of the. If they have a small group, it could have been one of the few fans they had at the time. Did she have a following at that time? Which would have been what? Was this 4 years ago or was this 4 months ago? I don't know.
Battlefield 5. This account also has absolutely no history on other Battlefield games. I was only able to track Battlefield 5, which tells me that either this is an insane coincidence and someone just so happened to take Riley's name after she changed it back on her main account, because remember, Origin does not allow duplicates, or that this is Riley's Smurf account, something that is very much possible considering that we know that she hops accounts constantly, not just on Steam but on Battle.net. The account cannot be tracked anywhere else except for Battlefield 5. Riley was simply not popular enough at this time for us to even be able to consider the idea that someone may have just stolen the name because they wanted.
He claims not popular enough.
Abandoned not that long after.
And I kind of believe it.
For a second that Riley has cheated in the past, or at least cheats on occasion. What this tells me is that she bought an alt account in order to test to see if some cheats worked, and then once she was satisfied with the configuration and the fact that she was not going to get banned, she simply abandoned this account and left it at 5 hours of game time. The stats themselves do not indicate cheating, but you also have to remember that she was basically AFK for some of these games, and the cheaters do not always have the highest KDs in the world. Unfortunately, I was unable to dig up anything more about this, but it is a problem.
So nothing conclusive, of course. So as usual with everything else, nothing conclusive. You know, it's basically he's painting a picture of all the evidence suggests that they have a high likelihood of being a cheater and some sus clips. But again, as basically from square one, we have nothing conclusive.
Again, she likes to insist that she only has one alt on Steam, but are you really willing to trust someone who says they have no alts elsewhere, and yet auto logins on an account on Battle.net that fucking isn't even theirs as they claim? If you have no alts, then why are you logging into accounts?
It's all circumstantial, yeah.
It's a little suspicious, right? It's not every day that you just decide to get somebody else's
circumstantial
account
evidence.
It is possible, of course, that just as this controversy was unraveling, she just so happened to be on somebody else's account to boost in Modern Warfare 3, and maybe Riley and friends simply have a habit of playing on each other's accounts, but what are the odds of that? I believe it if you told me they did this in Valorant, because Valorant is a game with an active rank in which there is a great incentive in increasing your rank.
All circumcised, are we sure?
Is too low rank to join the same lobby. But on any game related to Battle.net,
too many coincidences make a pattern. Perhaps.
This is not conclusive, but it is very weird and rather suspicious.
I mean, I do think I am of the belief. I do lean towards the belief that Riley did cheat at some point. He's not even like we got categories here where he's not even announcing the categories. I've gone into categories I didn't even intend to watch because he's not even mentioning it.
Don't you think? Hey, maybe it's just the former cheater in me, but this entire situation is giving me a very weird sense of deja.
Former cheater? Are you sure you're not the actual former cheat dev? Anyway, we're gonna skip on. Why would aimers cheat? I think we can kind of assume why they would. Eye test, spot the cheater. No, that's okay. Clip analysis. Oh, we already went through clip analysis. No, thank you. We already had this like hour of clip analysis. I think we're good. Conclusion. Let's see the conclusion now.
If I am able to, I don't want to risk a DMCA takedown on this channel. I'm going to try to re-upload the August 8th and 9th live streams, but if I'm not sure, I will leave that to other people who do have it to share. I think we've seen enough, and it's time for the conclusions. Now, my conclusions require 2 questions to be answered. If there is anything at all that you are going to take away from this video, then let it be these 2 questions. And now the first question
So you're not going to conclude with anything except questions? Okay, we can't answer those questions for you. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Let's give him a chance.
Do I personally believe that Riley cheated at some point?
You're going to answer
yes,
the question.
Yes, I do. Specifically.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, okay. I believe this. I, too, believe, yes. To number 1. I do believe Riley, at some point in time, has used cheats. Now, the problem is when and where. You know, which games when?
I believe she cheated in the August 8th livestream of Battlefield 6 beta. The behavior that we see in this livestream is simply too inconsistent with what she shows in previous livestreams and ones right after that, both in edits and full VODs. Not only that, but she is a part of a community which actively incentivizes being able to pump out consistent material, and she is someone who, for the longest time, simply did not get the recognition that you would expect to get if you are in a community that thrives off of the WoW factor. Even if you hadn't shown me absolutely anything related to her gameplay at all, just from the things surrounding her, I could say that the chances of her cheating are very likely. In relative terms, of course, I think it is far more likely for someone like her with a background like
likely.
Some of the behaviors that we see are consistent with those from people who would just want to inject or toggle, if you will, for a day or two in order to get clips, generate buzz, and then back out the second too many eyes are on you. There are behaviors in the August 8th livestream that are worth raising your eyebrow at. And the fact that I simply do not see them with sufficient frequency in live streams before, compilations from before, and then live streams from afterwards and compilations from afterwards tells me a lot. From the sudden disappearance of recoil, the insanely fast reaction times both to flicking and to the fact that an enemy is dead, the instant adjustments the second we see an enemy gets killed, and the sudden drop in skill the second that she goes viral for cheating accusations means that I, personally, believe that she cheated at least for one of the live streams. Specifically with an aimbot on key, relatively high RCS, high smoothness, and she would only hold that key or press that key from time to time in order to get a few clips, then turn off, so it didn't look off to her viewers. RileyCS is not a bad player, but this behavior is very suspicious. But on that note, I have to mention that I should not have been so quick to speak so definitively. Consider this.
Yeah, how about you just don't... Really, the problem here, nobody would have cared except for the first line. Everyone, like, it was the first line that made everyone give a shit. Just don't lie about it. Just don't lie. If you're trying to call someone else out for lying, don't start with a fucking lie. You know that's a lie. That was what got everyone... Everyone was like, oh shit, a person with some sort of authority on the topic. You basically started your post, and you know you did. Don't even try to deny it. You know you've started your post as saying, I am an authority on this topic because, hi, I'm an actual former cheat dev here. Unlike everyone else responding to this topic, who may be laymen's or amateurs, I am an actual former cheat dev. You knew what you were doing. You were appealing to your own authority. You were saying, hey, listen to me because I have authority on the topic. And that's the only reason anyone actually gave a shit. You take out the first line, and it's just a random person asserting Riley is cheating. And guess what? There were many of those. There were many of those asserting that. Enclave lied, yeah. Enclave lied, trans people died. Somewhere. But someone died somewhere. Many people look towards authority figures in times of uncertainty. True. And we had many people, like, obviously this was a big thing on the internet. There was many eyes on it. You had everyone, you had like thousands of people saying, it's obvious, it's blatant, look at this blatant cheating in the game. And then you have thousands of people being like, no, it's not cheating. You guys just are looking for, you just guys trying to beat on this trans person. No, it is not cheating. You guys are just bad players. You know, you had many people looking at this. The reason your post stood out is because you were the only one to claim to be a former cheat dev that had any sort of following, I guess. So just don't lie. Just don't lie. If you would have just said, it's my opinion they're cheating, you would have blended in with everyone else. It's that simple. I don't think that it's not, you don't misspoke. This is not a misspeak, because a misspeak would be like, hey, I have a lot of, like, if you just said, like, I have a lot of background in cheat dev, and it turns out you only had like a month in cheat dev, that could be that could be misspeaking. It's the part where they put actual. You're putting like an enhancement. If they just said former cheat dev, that'd technically be that would be accurate. Former cheat dev. But the fact that they decided to choose the word actual former cheat dev, it's very blatant, yeah. Misspeaked. Right. I would argue they knew what they were doing, and they just when they got more, like, they were doing that to get a reaction, and then when actually they're doing that to get a reaction, then they got a reaction, then they got too much of a reaction, and then they got scared. I think that's clearly what happened. It's so blatant. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look. It's so blatant. You can just see it. Just look. Just use your eyes. No. I'm copying the people talking about the cheating clip. Anyway, let's hear they got to talk about their second question. What's the answer to the second question?
My apology for having spoken so definitively in my original post. I should not have done so, especially knowing that I wouldn't be able to speak more in depth about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
Me to do so, and I am still hesitant to do it now. But that hesitancy does not prevent me from saying that I believe that Riley cheated in the August 8th livestream.
Okay.
If you agree or disagree, tell me in the comments. I would legitimately love to know. Now, the second question is, if Riley is suspicious, why has the AIM community treated criticism as taboo? You may think that they have something to hide, but I don't believe this to be the case. While yes, in relative terms, there are more cheaters within the AIM community than outside.
If Riley is suspicious, why has the AIM community treated criticism as taboo? I mean, is it because of the trans angle, I think? I mean, that's a big part of it. But the other part of it is, I mean, it's a topic that you don't really need a lot of background on. And I think the internet loves to jump on that. People are naturally defensive of that too, but people love to jump on a topic where they only need like 2 minutes of context. If all you need to catch up on what the topic is to watch it like a less than 2 minute clip, people love to fucking jump on that and give their hot take. You're going to have everyone across the whole fucking internet jumping on, oh, this is the trending topic. Everyone's going to jump on this and give their hot take. And it just keeps compounding. Now, if you have a sizable amount of people who think, no, this is not cheating. I've played enough games that look like this. This is not cheating. I can say firsthand. They're going to be they're going to vehemently say, no, I can do this. I can do this exact same shit. This is not cheating. I'm not cheating. And yeah, I think it becomes defensive. It becomes defensive because they're like, if this is cheating, then I'm cheating. If you think this looks like cheating, well, this is exactly what my gameplay clips look like. So it probably did become personal at some point. And it also became personal for the trans community as well, I guess. People started taking it. It went from like, hey, this random third party is cheating to, oh shit, you're calling me out as a person who's trans, and you might think I'm cheating at my games too. They took it personally when it doesn't really make any sense to take it personally.
Side of it, I think that their responses to the criticism come down to ego. It's not that they have something to hide. It's not that they're a secret cabal of cheaters or anything like that. It's just that they simply don't take the criticism seriously. No hate to anyone in particular, but the response to accusations of cheating of one member of the AIM community being, did you know you shouldn't peek literally everybody at the same time, reveals that they see the critics through a lens of simply being uninformed or not good enough. And the constant use of the bigotry card did them no favors. But this is the part where I pass off the microphone to you guys. Do you think Riley's a cheater? Do you think she isn't? Do you just think she's a little suspicious? Do you think I was convincing? What are your thoughts on the AIM community? I would like to know. I'll be reading your guys' comments and engaging for a little longer, but for now, I just want to get ready for my fucking internship for the Masters that starts tomorrow and getting back to making Fallout videos. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for rating. Thank you all for the support. And thank you so much for your patience. I will see you all in the next one. All
right. Well, I guess that's the end of it. So, again, I guess just to kind of close off, to conclude the conclusion here. One. Yeah, I would agree with one. I think any normal person or any rational person could say, in all likelihood, one is probably, very likely, very true. I mean, again, it's nothing. Here's the thing. Nothing in this video is conclusive. We started off, before the video, we had nothing conclusive. We had circumstantial evidence. Now, at the end of the video, I'm glad I didn't watch all 1 hour and 45 minutes of it. I'm glad I just kind of brushed over it, because at the end of the video, guess what? We're still only got inconclusive evidence, only got, circumstantial evidence. So, for one, I would have said one would have been true. Yes, I would have think one is true before I even watched the video. I think Riley probably at some point used cheats or experimented with cheats or has cheated in the past, probably. I can't say conclusively, but I do believe it, yes. 2. I don't know. I don't even know why 2 is even a question up here. Why are they it could be anything. Any topic on the internet. Any community. Glazed. It's like blacked, but it's glazed. But any topic on the internet gets fucking, it gets ridiculously heated. Any topic. You got fucking people arguing over, just moments ago in the stream, we were arguing over 40K, and it got a little heated. You take any topic, and you're going to have people who treat oh, you're criticizing this? That's taboo. I hate you now. It's the internet, I guess. Is my answer for number 2 is it's the internet. Why is it so taboo now to criticize? Because it's the internet. Both sides are going to say, you're criticizing me? That's fucked up. I hate you. The other side is going to say the same thing back. I mean, you also have, you have the people who see that for different, they'll see a disagreement, and then they'll see the subcategories of that argument, and then take it personally and take it from different political angles. Like, you have people who look at this as a fight for pro versus anti-trans. Guess what? The pro-trans people are going to see it as taboo to criticize trans people. The anti-trans people are going to see it as taboo to defend the cheater who's so obviously cheating just because they're trans and use trans, identity as a shield. So both sides have some sort of vested interest to treat that as taboo. And then it becomes also like a left wing versus a right wing kind of issue. And that also kind of tends to align with politics. And politics is very volatile, especially, recently. Especially recently. And people take it very personally. And when you criticize someone's politics, they do treat that like that is kind of taboo. You shouldn't do that with good company. If you want to be on someone's good side, ideally you don't criticize their politics. You know what they say, if you're having guests over, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about, I don't remember if there was a third category, but these are taboo topics if you're trying to have good company. So, yeah, it's the internet, it's politics, it becomes politics, it becomes these pet issues. So that's why too, yes, that's why it's considered taboo. But we could have had these answers at the beginning of the video. We didn't need this video for this. So I think, unfortunately, it is basically just a rant. You ranted for like an hour 45, and we're at the same point as we started. And the wait for this video was not worth. But that's my conclusion, I guess. My conclusion, video inconclusive.